Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Beastly Eel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the season finale of Daredevil Born Again. So this episode takes place right after the last episode, so we're at church to start off with, where Jessica Jones is helping Matt Murdock basically heal his wound. To be fair, she's not actually helping him heal it. She's just trying to help him set it and get ready to do what he needs to do. So they have a little conversation, mostly due to the fact of does Matt feel like he understands what needs to be done? And Matt's like, I don't know if we can. And she's like, well, you're gonna have to figure it out. And his big thing is, she's like, can you take him out? And he's like, not alone. And she's like, well, that's why I'm here. We're gonna do this together and try to get rid of this threat permanently. And that's kind of the game plan. So we then have the court where we have the female lawyer along with Karen, all basically the two of them sitting waiting for Matt to show up, who obviously does not show up right away. Um, Court continues and proceeds without him until he shows up when his ex-girlfriend, aka the therapist, is on is on the stand. So there's a little back and forth between the two of them. And this continues on. It gets to the point where he calls Wilson Fisk as his witness. I'm sorry, as his. No, is it witness? I believe it is his witness. And during this time, there's a whole huge argument in chambers about talking about this and how it's not appropriate and everything else. Although Fisk is there, Fisk talks to Matt Murdock, whispers to him, obviously, because he knows Matt can hear him. Basically threatening him, being like, "You're going to regret this if you even try." And Matt's just like, "I'll gladly do it anyway. I really don't care," and proceeds to continue on anyway. So this turns into a big fiasco in and of itself, where we have all of the vigilante task force in the back, and then we have Jessica Jones come in with the governor to show Fisk that she's alive and well. So during all of this, Matt basically proves that this court proceeding is ridiculous. That there has to be something. She has to, for her to be a vigilante, she has to be considered that to be the only option available. When in fact, this whole situation is proof that there might have been a reason for it. That there was guns being brought into this city by Wilson Fisk, and the fact that they were hiding it from everyone else. It got to the point where there was a lot of heated arguments between everyone, and Matt finally exposed himself as being Daredevil, as a witness who was on the ship, basically stating that, hey, I was on that ship, I know exactly what happened, and you sank that ship yourself. I had nothing to do with the sinking. I was trying to stop guns from coming into my city that you were allowing. Turns into a massive argument between them all. It breaks up, like, this whole thing gets turned into the fact that they cannot charge, or they cannot continue the proceedings of this court case, mostly due to the fact that that the court was created by Wilson Fisk, and because of that, they were not going to be able to be fair and how do I want to phrase this? And conflict free, I guess is how you would describe it. Unbiased. There we go. And with all that going on, we then have them getting ready to leave. We have a group of the Vigilante Task Force, one of which dressed up as Bullseye to try and take out Matt Murdock. However, Bullseye comes in, kills all of them beautifully, and then decides to take a crack at Wilson Fisk. While this is going on, Matt tries to stop Fisk from walking out. Buck jumps in front of the way, takes the bullet for Wilson, and they all go into the courthouse. So Wilson, Fisk, the vigilante task force all barricade themselves in the courthouse, specifically the courtroom. Then we have Matt, Karen, Jessica, who else? Pretty much everyone that's on Matt's side in a separate room of the courthouse. Jessica gives him his outfit. While this is all going on, BB basically announces that Fisk is the problem, and or I shouldn't say all of, but most of New York City citizens are dressed up as Daredevil or in Daredevil-esque costume. and getting ready to go towards the courthouse, where Vigilante Task Force is out there with their guns drawn, ready to shoot them all. We have the police come in as well, basically stating, like, move aside, we got to go get Fisk. And they're like, no way in heck. We then have the leader of the task force basically stating that, going on about the death of White Tiger, and the second in command, the one that gets burned, basically finds out that this whole thing has been a lie to him, that none of what was being done was true, and that this whole thing was brought on by lie after lie after lie, and realizes this is a problem. So he knocks out that guy and tells them to go in. So it turns into a massive firefight. So Jessica Jones and Matt Murdock, as the Daredevil, go in and start taking out vigilante task force members, while Wilson Fisk himself starts taking out citizens dressed up as Daredevil. And now, when I say taking them out, I mean literally breaking them and killing them, to the point where it gets to a point where Wilson Fisk is standing at the top of the courthouse stairs, basically stating that he's the one that's been trying to help out, and Matt and Jessica are basically trying to convince him to just give up, and he's like, "No way in hell." That's when a lot of the citizens run up to try to attack him, who are also getting killed by him. Matt and Jessica both get up there to try to pull everyone off of him. They do. Matt and him have a heart to heart to discuss kind of what was going on. We also see during all of this too is that we have a new White Tiger who has the abilities of the White Tiger, which I thought was kind of cool. Anyway, so we have this massive heart to heart between Wilson Fisk and Daredevil, basically stating that they need to stop this. That if we really care about New York, we both need to stop, and that the deal was that he denounces his citizenship and leaves New York immediately, and everything will be bygones. And Wilson Fisk was originally no, 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 and then I think once he realizes about the whole New York thing, he agrees. So then, how the season ends is all of the vigilante task force members are arrested. Matt Murdock is arrested for being a vigilante, where he's put in jail with all of the vigilante task force members, which I think is very interesting. Karen Page is obviously free and doing what she wants to do. BB has a place at her uncle's old um, paper, just basically for everything that she has done to basically save New York. We have White Tiger just being White Tiger. Jessica Jones opened up her alias investigations again, where we also see Luke Cage come and basically state that he's back home for good. And then apparently the one who's replaced him for Mr. Charles is none other than Bullseye himself. And then we have Wilson Fisk on an island, basically enjoying the beautiful weather and the sandy beaches, unfortunately without his wife. And that's how it ends. So, what I'm assuming we're going to be expecting in season 3 is we're going to be obviously seeing Danny Rand, Luke Cage more obviously. There's no way we're not going to see Jessica Jones. And it's supposedly taking a year after this, so Matt's going to have been in prison for at least a year at this point. And we're assuming he's going to be breaking out or be broken out. I'm not quite sure. We're also know that Fisk is also going to be a part of the season as well. So we'll have to wait and see how all that kind of combines together, because the assumption would be that Kingpin is trying to weasel his way back into New York City, because that's where the love of his life is kind of moralized, there. You know what I mean? Where everything about her is kind of there, which would make sense. But we'll have to wait and see to know for sure. But for now, if you made it this far into the video, let me know what you guys thought about this episode and the season overall as a whole. And as always, if you like the content you see, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a wonderful night. Bye bye.